What's going on, you guys? Raymond Warner here. Welcome back to the channel. I've made a couple of videos in the past about a couple of my achievements in the sport and just kind of showed you guys quick little snippets of trophies or old school things that I have. But Mackenzie just got me this really cool display case, and I figured this would be a really cool opportunity to show some of you guys some of the things that I've acquired over my last 25 years of being in the sport of scootering. This is all before this YouTube channel ever existed. Some of it is, at least. So some of you guys aren't even gonna know half the stuff I'm talking about, but some of you guys that have been around for a while, you guys are gonna pay like you guys are gonna know what I'm talking about. It's gonna be like kind of cool for a little throwback for you. But let's start up here at the top of the case. Actually, let's start at the very top. Some of this stuff is really cool. Like I got this trophy I actually received at Camp Woodward West for the vert competition that we had out there. That was the first ever vert competition that they had here in the States. And that one's pretty special because I had been training for so long to actually ride in that competition. I'm the vert guy, right? Like, so I really wanted this win. I was the first ever rider to get a vert win. So that's something really proud of. First ever, and I believe the only vert competition that we've had here in the States. So this one was really cool to win. Plus, like, it was in my YouTube channel, so it's kind of cool. Right next to it, we've got a deck right here. This is my first ever AOS V4 limited deck. So you guys have seen that deck a million times on this channel, but that was the first one that I ever actually received. And down here, I don't really have room for them yet, but I've got a couple more. So this is the first ever AOS V4 deck that I ever got. And this one's obviously really scratched up and stuff. They come sealed, but I actually wanted to see the deck, so I opened it because when they are packaged in the NV packaging, you can't see anything. But this one I had to open up. Super cool, old school stuff right here. And then right next to this deck, I have my first ever. This is actually the first ever produced Phoenix Reventon deck, Raymond Warner signature. You guys can see like a small snippet of the graphic that's on here. Of course, electric blue is my favorite color. And on the top right here, from the factory, they put this little post-it note that just says Ray #1. So it's the first one ever made. It still even has a switchblade brake in there, the headset, but super proud of this thing. This was my second ever signature part. We'll get into, or sorry, my third ever signature part. We'll get to the other ones here in just a minute, but really cool that I still have this. And at the top right up here, we've got another trophy. This is from the Incline Club. Shouts out to Scotty Kramer and the Kramer family for keeping the Incline Club going for as long as they did. But that's a win from the Incline Club competition. I think that was back in like 2010-ish, 2011 maybe. Old competition. Actually, it might have been a little bit after that. Oh, is there a date on the top? 2013, so 12 years ago with that one. And then you got this helmet right here. This is just a really cool helmet because a lot of the clips in my Welcome to NB edit were filmed while I was wearing that helmet. I hit my head on the ground a lot with that helmet, so that helmet is a large part of the reason I'm still alive, but it's a special one for me. And in the back right, you got kind of just like a little golf trophy. That was my first trophy I ever got, which was in the year 2000. So that thing's super old. But let's move into the actual interior of the display case. We've got a lot of trophies on the top, so we're gonna start right here on the top. Some of the more important ones are kind of in the center, but let's start on the outsides here. So on the outsides, we've got a couple of wins from 2009. This is from XW, which is Extreme Wheels. I think that was number 4, and this was in Buffalo, New York. And on this side, we've got two of the same ones. On this side, we've got my best trick win, and then on this side, it's the first place win in the Pro Division. That was the first contest that I ever went to that I won both the full competition and I won the best trick. So that was really cool, and I think I got like my first kind of decent size win. At the time, I think it was like $1,100 or something. And to win $1,100 in the scooter world is really cool, especially because now pro wins are like $400. Don't know how that makes sense, but super proud of those. And we also got a couple of magazine covers here. We've got a Vault zine right here, as well as a French Toast cover in the back there. French Toast was So that's a magazine a lot of you guys really haven't probably heard of. That was an old school magazine. They made a bunch of different covers. They made a bunch of different magazines, and that one I'm really proud of. And the Vault zine was kind of cool. I thought that was a really cool thing that they did. Shouts out to the Vault for actually doing that. I think it was something cool for a lot of the older guys in the community. I don't know, I thought it was really neat. It was a neat concept, so shouts out to them for doing that entire lineup of magazines. We got a couple of second place trophies here. Second place, and this is kind of back during the time when me and Dakota were always like neck and neck. We were always fighting each other for first. He was winning a lot, I was winning a lot, but a few of these, he kind of just had a really good year. I had a decent year as well. I think the Razor Global Domination Tour, I think they had 4 or 5 events, and I walked away with trophies, and I think 4 of them, I think it was 4. Yeah, I walked away with four trophies in different events for those, so I had a good year then. But yeah, here's the second place in the West Coast. I want to say that was either in Escondido or Arizona, and we got another second place in the Midwest Advanced Division, which this one I think was in Allen, Texas. And then we have the East Coast, which if I'm not mistaken would have been possibly the Incline Club as well. So super proud of those. And we got a couple medals right here as well. This is from the Fusion Razonar Tour. Again, super long time ago. This is probably like in 2010, 2011, 2000, somewhere about that era. And I have 2 golds right here. I don't know where these are from because they don't have any details on them, but I think again, it was one of those competitions where they had 3 or 4 contests in that circuit for that year. But anyways, I have 3 medals from those. So I have 2 first place finishes, and I have a bronze finish as well. They did a lot of best trick contests, but in that particular one, I don't think you got best trick medals, and I think I got 2 or 3 best tricks in those as well. So it's really cool to have those. This gold medal, no idea what that's from. This is from 2015, so it's been 10 years ago in Barcelona. I think that might have been something that they gave out to all the finalists, was just like small gold medals, if I'm not mistaken. That kind of would make the most sense. So I don't think that's a win, but it's still a cool one to have from Barcelona. But this middle one right here is really special because this is the first ever ISA United States Championship, and I won that competition. That was in Michigan at Modern Skatepark. So I was the first ever US champion in the scooter world. So that one's really special to me. Again, that was one that me and Coda were kind of neck and neck during that time. I took the win there, and I also got best trick. So that was another one where first place here, first place best trick, won a little bit of cheese on that one, and yeah, really proud of that one. Right here we have a deck. This is my first ever scooter, ever. So this one's really special to me. Of course, this thing is thrashed. It snapped twice, and I had just some random friend of my dad's welded it, and I don't know where the rest of the scooter is, but I didn't really worry about it at the time. I was just a kid. We got another medal right here. This is just kind of like the coolest medal I would have, just aesthetically. This is an SR logo. You guys don't know what SR is, but it's Scooter Resource. And this medal was given to me from SD6, and this is for a 3rd place finish at SD6, and this was actually on my birthday, January 7th, 2012. I'm really proud of all the SD wins and places that I have, or the podium finishes that I have, because of any scooter rider in the world, I've stood on that podium the most at the San Diego SD competition line. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, they had 12 or 13 events, and I think I placed in all of them that I went to except for 2 or 3. So I was on that podium 9 or 10 times. So very proud of that. Shouts out to Andrew Broussard for keeping that event going for as long as he did. But that's our top section. Let's move down to this second one here. We're gonna start on the ends right here. We have 2 signature wheels of mine. That's my only 2 signature wheels. This one's really special because this is my first ever signature part, and I don't know anybody that has an unridden one, and I have 2 of them. But this one's the purple on purple one. This drawing here is literally just something I drew on a piece of paper. This is the exact drawing. Scooter Zone James just took the drawing, gave it to his guy that did all of the etching, and just said, hey, or make this, and he did. So it's just my name, a couple of crosses, just because I'm a faithful person. Of course, we follow the Lord here in my household, and a couple of bubbles. I don't know what the bubbles have to do with anything, but I don't know, it's cool. I drew it on a CD, kind of funny. This is kind of more of a an older version of Raymond. A little more mature and just more of a minimalist, I guess I should say. We have an Epic logo and my signature right here. This wheel came in 3 or 4 different colorways. So again, another one I'm really proud of. It's not ridden, and I have every other color. They're all just in the garage. That's another thing. All this stuff that you guys are looking at, this is not my complete collection of kind of wins and trophies and things like that. These are just the ones that are a little bit more special. This is probably like 30% of the stuff that I actually have, but I would need a bigger area. So we're gonna need more of these, Kens, just so you know.
Yeah, got you.
This is an interesting looking deck for a lot of you guys, I'm sure. This was actually a really cool thing that was sort of a surprise to me. Mad Gear just randomly sent me a package. I didn't know what the hell it was, but this I got right after I took over Scooter Zone. And on the deck it says, presented in recognition for your contribution to the sport of pro scootering and your valued contribution as a pro rider with Team MGP. We thank you for being a part of the journey. Mad Gear, established 2002, Raymond Warner. And down here it says 2010, 2020, Mad Gear Pro Rider Hall of Fame. I did ride for Mad Gear at one point. Of course I don't now, but they sent it to me right after I took over Scooter Zone, and I was just kind of under the assumption that it was something of them saying thank you for keeping that going, and I've just done a lot in the sport. So it was really cool to receive that from them. This is actually a golf trophy. I just thought it was really cool. It was my first ever like kind of real tournament sort of win. And then right next to it we have probably the most important thing I have in my entire house. I always said to myself, if I ever had my house go up in flames, the 2 things that I would grab would be my family and that plaque. That is a plaque from the Make-A-Wish Foundation. This one is from a kid named Harley, and his wish was to come to Scooter Zone back in 2014 and scooter with me in that skate park. So it was really, really cool that they gifted me that after making that dream kind of come true for Harley. And then right next to it we have another, this is a sticker from Baylor, and Baylor was another kid that from the Make-A-Wish Foundation that wanted to scooter with me for his wish, and we did that at Woodward West. So I've done that twice. So super, super honored to be able to do that. So shouts out to the Make-A-Wish Foundation as well as Harley and Baylor for having me as their wish. So right next to that we also have a wheel. This is a full metal wheel right here. This I won at the 2012 World Championship. So this is the same year as my win there, so I qualified to go. And this one's kind of got an interesting story. This was a timed event, so it was I think a 10-minute jam. And this is the time I had landed the backflip quad whip over the box backwards. So it was the first time I had ever done that. I've only done that twice in my life. But I was going up against a lot of riders, and R. Willie was trying to do double flare, like the first ever one in person, or in competition I should say. And he landed it, but he landed it way after the timer, but they gave him the gold. But I'd like, so shouts out my boy, I love R. Willie, but I see myself as getting the win there, but I got second place technically. Well, technically got first place because I landed mine before the buzzer. He landed his way after the buzzer, but it was really cool to see him double flare, so they hooked him up with first. But still stoked I got a medal from that. And then right next to that, we've got a couple other finishes, a lot of second place finishes on this kind of section here, but these are both from, again, North American Championship qualifiers with the ISA at the time, now called the ISF, but I've got 2 second place finishes, both qualifying for Worlds there, so cool to have those also. And yeah, that's kind of my kind of second shelf. Still really, really important to me, just not quite as flashy as all the gold stuff up here, but still really, really neat. Sorry if I'm kind of yapping, it's just there's a lot of history here, and this is kind of like a historical part of the vlog. So we're gonna move down to this middle section here, or the bottom section I should say. We'll start right here, big helmet situation. This is my first ever helmet. I did a lot of scootering in this, a lot of my big learns, like for example, my first tail whip, my first bar spin, my first 360, my first bri flip, that's all in this helmet. The first ever buttercup in this helmet. So This is a large part of my scootering life, so it gets its own kind of situation right here, its own section. We've also got a couple toys right here. This is really cool because it's an actual Tech Deck scooter. So Tech Deck came out and they made a couple of scooters. Although they didn't put the right rider on here. This is Cam Ward, and they made a whole bunch of the ones that are actually proper, but they sent one to me for approval. This one did not get approved, so this is one of one because it's all jacked up. Pretty cool to have this, and just because it's so cool to have a Tech Deck of me. I was a huge Tech Deck kid, and just kind of cool. And then on this side we have a Pro Comp Parts mini finger scooter as well. This is a Scooter Zone owned company at the time, and on the back you've got a photo of me and Ryan Gould kind of doing an over-under thing at the skate park. But really cool to have these and be a toy, for lack of a better term. Right next to it we've got a ticket from a movie premiere. This is one of the, I think this is from a Dissidents movie premiere, but that's pretty cool. Underneath that we've got a lot of stickers. This is all but I think 2 of the designs that I've made for merch. So if you guys need to get some merch and you've never had any, go to www.raymondwarner.com. I almost said the Scooter Zone. raymondwarner.com for merch. If you guys need scooter parts, you can go to thescooterzone.com. It's also my scooter store. So if you guys want to support this channel, there's 2 ways to do it, but some of these are gonna be some throwbacks. You've got like the Night Llama in there. You've got the full Sned sticker in there, the Marley sticker. The ones on the very top left, those are like the first ever renditions of my logo. So it's really cool to have all those, a lot of hours. You got a few more at the bottom that kind of are some of the more modern and kind of the newer designs that we've made. But yeah, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in that area right there. Just so much time behind a computer, and I'll probably need reading glasses because of it. Down low, you got a couple more magazines. Those are just kind of my collection of scooter magazines. They don't make scooter magazines anymore, but it's cool to have. I think I have like maybe 15 or so different versions, that's what we'll say, of issues. Different issues. Volumes is another one. Yeah, different issues, different volumes of magazines. It's cool to have some scooter history about that stuff. So, and then moving on to this right side here, we got a couple more trophies in here. We got a best trick win at the Razor Global, or no, that's the Razor Exposed Tour. Again, another contest where they had like maybe 3 or 4 contests within that tour, and I got a best trick win there. Right next to it we've got a 2nd place finish in that Razor Exposed Tour. Don't know where that was at, somewhere maybe Escondido, or could have been Texas again, because they did a lot of those over in Texas. And we got a couple medals right here. I've got this is a 3rd place finish at Feast in Montpellier, France. Never got paid for that. I'm a little sour about that still. But we also got a gold medal here from another ISA qualifier, and we've got a 4th place finish at a Sin City Showdown. And then we also have a 1st place finish right here. This is at Woodward East. This one, I remember the line. I remember the run like it was yesterday, and I remember in that run I did my one of, I think, 2 or 3 that I've ever done in competition, 6 whips. So, and it was on a big kind of spine ramp step up, and I 6 whipped it. So it's really cool to walk away with the win there at Woodward East. That was at their outdoor street competition, or at their outdoor street skate park, and kind of a cool trophy too. It's half a wheel. It's kind of sick. Last section we've got at the bottom here. We've got a couple other, these are sort of like the smaller trophies. We've got one big one in here, but we've got this is a 4th place finish at a Razor Exposed Tour. During like the height of my training, I was not very happy with a 4th place finish, to be honest with you. And we have even worse. We have a 5th place finish right here. So, not to be cocky or brash or just a weenie, but I was not happy with 4th or 5th place finishes. It was cool to have a trophy and walk with one, but it was small. So I was like, damn it. I always wanted to be on the actual podium, because this is during a time where being on the podium was the most important thing in the entire sport. If you wanted to make your name, you had to be on the podium. That was it. It was either podium, make edits, but everybody in the entire world can make an edit, or and that was it. And now it's if you can make a YouTube channel and get a lot of views and get people to follow you, that makes you very special in this world. That's kind of the world that we're living in now, but still cool to have them. We got a 3rd place finish right here from the Razor Exposed Tour, so another cool thing to have. Got a couple of my all access kind of passes for different events. A couple of X Games ones. Those weren't all access, but a couple of X Games ones. We got a Jibs Action Sports expo that we did, and that was with me and Tanner and a couple other scooter riders. And then we have one more qualifier medal right there from an ISA event. But that's a lot of stuff. This is my my life's work in the scooter world. I've done a lot in the scooter world, and like I said, this is not even close to all the stuff that I have. I have so many other of the kind of big checks, which is what they kind of gave out for some wins, and I have different interviews in magazines and different big time scooter parts that that kind of are a lot of my history in the sport. But I've done a lot here, and this is kind of like my life's work when it comes to my the training aspect and the competing or the competing aspect of what I've done my entire life. But hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Hopefully that kind of little bit of history was special to you guys, and it kind of shows you a little bit about the history of scootering. But thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys on Wednesday. Till then, I'm out. Later.